I recently moved to a new apartment, and while I'm setting up my kitchen, I wanted to show you guys some of my pantry essentials and also how to make a pantry essential of your own, vegetable and chicken stock.
This week on Working Class Foodies.
So, what do I mean when I say pantry items? Yes, I mean dried pasta and canned tomatoes, but I also mean anything that you buy in a larger quantity than you're going to use for one recipe. Flour, milk, eggs, all of these are pantry essentials, and here are some of my personal favorites. Most importantly is salt. I like to keep iodized salt and sea salt for cooking, and some fancy salts for finishing. And of course, pepper. I like to keep whole peppercorns and grind them as needed. And I'm also addicted to hot peppers, so I like to keep hot peppers around whole and in flakes. Next up are my favorite herbs and spices. I recommend keeping them whole and grind them as needed. I also like to keep vanilla beans around so I can use them in baking and sweet dishes. Speaking of baking, every kitchen needs flour. I like to keep all-purpose flour in addition to bread flour for baking bread, and oats, which are of course useful for oatmeal and for baking bread. It's always good to have white sugar, brown sugar, and I like to keep powdered sugar for finishing sweet dishes. If you enjoy baking, it's essential to keep around baking soda and baking powder. Milk, eggs, and butter are essential for baking as well as many other savory dishes, and it's great to keep Parmesan around as well to finish off any dishes that need a little bit of a salty or cheesy kick. It's important to have white vinegar on hand, as it's good for both cooking and cleaning, and I like to keep balsamic and white wine vinegar for salads. Onions, leeks, shallots, and garlic are all very important to keep around for everything. I like to keep a whole bunch, as you can see. And of course, potatoes. I like to keep sweet potatoes, white potatoes, and little red russets. My favorite condiments are ketchup and mustard, and I also like to keep around pickles and olives. Now, just as important as what you put in your pantry are the tools that you use to prepare your food. Here's some of my most essential kitchen tools. An 8 to 10 inch chef's knife, a 3-inch paring knife, a bread knife, and kitchen shears are all extremely important tools to have in the kitchen. I also like to keep a whisk, a wooden spoon, tongs, a rubber bowl scraper, and a hard spatula as well. I like to keep a box grater and a microplane for everything from zesting limes and lemons to even grating nutmeg. A small saucepan is important for everything from sauces to making small batches of vegetables and pasta. A Dutch oven is very important to keep around. You can do everything from braise meats in it to make pasta. I like to keep an 8 to 10 inch non-stick frying pan, as well as a 10 inch stainless steel skillet and a cast iron skillet, which is extremely important because you can take it from the stove to the oven back and forth, and it will last forever if you treat it properly. To find out more about how to properly treat and care for a cast iron skillet, check out this blog post by our friends of Salt and Fat. You can never go wrong with a good aluminum baking sheet, either with or without rims, and of course a roasting rack and roasting pan for everything from potatoes to whole chickens. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to show you how to make a very simple vegetable and chicken stock, and we're going to go over a couple things that are in season where I am right now. Anytime I cook anything with vegetables, chicken, beef, or shellfish, I like to save my scraps and use them to make a stock. If you're cooking with a lot of different vegetables at once, you can actually make your stock while you cook, or you can save all of your scraps in the freezer until you're ready to make your stock. So I'm going to start off making a vegetable stock from some vegetable scraps I've saved up over the last few weeks. It's actually okay to throw your vegetable skins unwashed because the dirt will float to the top. You're going to strain out the vegetables anyway, and the garlic and onion skins will actually catch the dirt and the impurities and help you strain them out. To make my stock, I threw a couple cups of water into a pot and then added in all of my vegetable scraps. For my stock, I'm using everything from the tops and skins of carrots, the rough ends of any vegetable from celery to turnips to parsnips, the skins of onions and garlic, and some leftover dried herbs that I don't want to let go to waste. Really, you can throw just about any vegetable matter that you don't want to waste into your stock. Add salt and a little bit of pepper. You can also add in a bay leaf to add a little seasoning to it as well. Bring it up to a boil and then bring it immediately down to a simmer and just let it cook gently for at least 20 to 30 minutes or up to an hour. The longer you let your stock simmer, the more flavor it will extract from the vegetables. As your stock is simmering, skim off any impurities or bubbles that come to the top. That's pretty much all you have to do to make a vegetable stock. To turn this into a chicken stock, just add in your leftover chicken parts. For example, a few weeks ago when I made my simple roasted chicken, I saved the wings and the bones from the carcass, and I'm going to use them now to make a chicken stock. It's very important once you put your chicken parts in that you don't let your stock boil. Letting it boil will bring out all the impurities from the meat, and the fat from the chicken could actually emulsify in the stock and ruin it. So don't let it boil, just keep it at a simmer. After your stock is finished simmering, strain off all the vegetables, and then strain the broth itself through a cheesecloth to get off any sediment that might remain. Right now, my two favorite things that are in season in New York are ramps and Jerusalem artichokes, or sunchokes. Ramps are young spring onions, and I'm going to probably saute or steam the greens and serve them with eggs or pasta. And the bottoms are perfect for pickling, so that's what I'm going to do with these. Now, as far as these Jerusalem artichokes go, I haven't quite figured out yet what I'm going to do with them. If you have any suggestions, write in, send us an email, or leave us a comment below, or leave a message on our Facebook fan page and let us know what you would do with them. And also, let us know what's in season in your neck of the woods. We'd love to see what you guys are cooking. See you next week on Working Class Foodies.